Greetings, dear people. Sorry for my tardiness. I had to postpone the stream for 5 minutes, on the stream on the actual, YouTube event, and uh, then I had you wait for another just over 3.5 minutes. I am so sorry. I was busy. Yes, I've been sick, so. But I was recording a beer video, so it's not gonna tell you too much. It's a Belgian beer. It's a Belgian Trappist beer. A looks nice. It's golden. It's really really good. Watch my beer channel and you'll know um, what which beer it is. I haven't. It's still the thumbnail is done. Uh, the thumbnail is done, and the video is done. Uh, all I have to do is just pile the bits together, pile the bits together, and upload to YouTube. But as to when exactly this will come out, um, why is my camera two? Uh, color space default. Oh yikes! How have you people been? Configure video. Okay, please, people, tell me how you have been. How have you been? I would love to hear how you have been doing in recent uh recent times. Jens says, delays happen. I use public transport. So do I. Not so often, not as often as I used to. So, okay. As for my co-hosts, oops, I need to get that out of the way. Oh, so Stefan, the hedgehog, and a watering can. He's got the Spirited Away sticker. I decided to pimp his ride. And Bertil is not here. Bertil is watching the gig of Black Eyed Peas from the television. It's somewhere in Egypt, uh, as I believe the gig. Anyway, I'm sorry. Uh, you want the truth? I have COVID. I tested positive. I tested. It's Friday now, and I tested positive Wednesday afternoon. So uh, initially, I was asymptomatic, but now I've had started getting some symptoms in the past maybe 20 in the past maybe 36 hours. Uh, yeah, it's been quite busy at work. Started a copy process that should finish on Monday. Okay, sounds actually quite interesting. Long copy processes can be interesting. Actually, it's quite interesting. I've been copying a lot of I don't I'm not even sure how big what we're actually talking about. So I'm, I'm just probably it's probably better that I shut up. Yes. So I let's take. It's just hanging around in it to begin with. Okay, let's take some more. The Finland law. Yes, thank you. Okay, so let's go. Finland has just, as of uh, Krishmeti. Okay. Hello, Krishmeti. So basically, so what? How it goes? On Wednesday, um, what's my pronoun? She, her. Primarily. Going he, him would be misgendering. So let's just say he, him is misgendering. Say she, her, they, them. If you want, you pick. It's your choice. Okay. On the 1st of this month, February, the Finnish Parliament passed a very liberal trans law, um, which will come into effect as of March 1st. So it's just a month. So basically, but where, for example, when we had the same-sex marriage, we had to, from the time the parliament voted yes, we had to wait a year and a half. Also, it was a year and a half or so. Um, so, but now it's just a month. So previously, this previous law came into effect, or the parliament said yes on in 2002, and came into effect. I think it was March 1st of 2003. We are we are talking about a new advancement in the legislation of Finland, my home country, in trans rights of trans people. So the previous law that came into effect in 2000 in 02/03, it had been prepared since the 1980s. So um, that's how long it takes things to go forward. And this particular piece of legislation has been in the making since the first one. Um, we have some disappeared messages. Moderate the moderator who did things. The moderator who did things, please report. Oh. Uh. 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 I'll be right. An unpleasant person. Okay. So let's go for. And this lovely lady here is our prime minister. This woman here in the front is Sanna Marin, our current prime minister. Um, she is 2 years older than me. She's 37 years old, and there was there was a huge uproar from the conservative side because our prime minister was at the Pride March past summer, and I think it was the year previously too. So, yikes. So, she's a lovely lady. She's a dom. Okay. So we have by votes 113 for, 69 against. 69 was it? Okay, maybe I'm being just childish. I'm tired. Purple rhymes with orange. Says, I'm not the first one here, but why was I the first one to hit like? I've lost my buttons. Hey, thank you, Purple, for being an awesome person and clicking like on my stream. Okay, the new law means transgender people aged 18 and over can legally change their gender by process of self-declaration and no longer have to go through an onerous medical and psychiatric process first. Amendments also this is from Euronews.com. Okay. Amendments also abolished provision that required transgender people to provide medical certificate proving they are infertile or otherwise sterilized before the government would recognize their gender identity. This part, this part of the existing law to keep transgender individuals from having children had been widely condemned by human rights groups for years. Yeah, for the past 20 years. Why do I have messages in? It's been in the making. This one, the previous one, was 20 years in the making, and this one was 20 years in the making. And the infertility requirement was included in the original law from 2002 because the the religious right, which is quite somewhat quite a small niche. The religious right is a small niche in Finland, but pardon, they demanded for for whatever reason to have this like this. I don't know. Um, we were the Secretary General of SETA, the oldest and most respected LGBTQI rights organization, Kerttu Taremo, said, "We were expecting the bill to pass. I wasn't, for the record. But in the last week, yes, the the discussion in the parliament was incredibly low quality. And they said that the those who oppose this law. Oh, hello, Flems. Ooh, please give an applause to Flems. Flems is one of my one and only patron, and has been one for a year now. I think a year now, at least, maybe a year or something like that. I could check it up. I'm so sorry, I can't remember. Anyway, in the parliament and in social media, people have been saying that they say, as Darjamo said, the activism organization says, um, and some have said this would, destroy traditional family values and etc. Okay, and they said this will open gates for cisgender men to harass women in changing rooms. They had arguments about prisons and tried to use the UK as an example. I have no idea what they're talking about. Um, they left out minors. As this article here says, one of the potentially most controversial aspects of the legislation was whether or not neo-trans rights provisions, whether it would apply to the 16 and 17-year-olds who are considered minors. And as I understand it, this leaving out the 16 and 17-year-olds was something that they had to make, that the government had to compromise. They had to compromise because if they left that in, it's most likely that if they left the 16 and 17-year-olds in the law text, the bill would not have passed, because one of what Finland always has always had a coalition part has always had a coalition government. Currently, is a coalition of 5 political parties, uh, which is quite an amazing feat, given that, for example, the US cannot function even as a single party government. But enough of that. But however, there's still the possibility that the theoretical possibility that the president vetoes. But given that he has um, many other things on his table right now, I think he'll just sign this off and tells the person bringing him this stamp paper to piss off. He's a nice man, but you know. Please tell me if you hear music from the background, because I don't want to copyright strike. That just reminded me because there's as I said, a Black Eyed Peas concert in being played quite loud in the next room. So, this beer is so good. I will not reveal which beer it is because I just filmed the video about this. So, for example, uh, okay, no music. Okay, wonderful. Um, I must say that this previous law has affected me uh, personally, but I must say it was 10 years ago, so it's a long time ago. And there was no way I could. There was no way. Pardon me. I was just trying not to cough. It's so hard. Yes, and this was to. I couldn't wait for 10 years And then this did affect me in the most profound way, in one of the most profound ways people usually. But um, the previous law, because I am transgender, if you didn't, it should be, I think it should be blatantly obvious to everyone who watches my channel. But I had to provide the government with uh, a a certificate of infertility, um, a a certificate of permanent infertility. I won't disclose how that was obtained, but this new law brings brings me close to tears of happiness, because this will give me, now that there are certain, when we change here in Finland, we when a new law is passed, um, the government will, or the parliament and the people there working there, will automatically amend the laws that have to do with it, that this new law affects, and this uh, affects quite profoundly uh, family law. Uh, this will make possible. Uh, this will make a lot. The if my partner, if Katya and I ever were able to have children, in a way or in one way or the other, um, I would I will become, under this new law, I will automatically become the legal parent and guardian of the child, automatically. Give it, if we are married, if and when we probably get married at some point, uh, when we are married, I will become the legal parent and guardian of the child automatically, which has always been the case for cis straight couples. The father, there's something called that the the law no, defines the father presumption, which assumes that the husband is the father of the child, and at birth will become the child's legal parent and guardian at birth. This has not been possible uh, for same-sex couples and trans people. For cisgender lesbians who have do, for example, home insemination outside the official system, have this have the problem that they have to go the route of intrafamilial adoption. The other mother, the non-birthing mother, has to adopt the child. But this new law gives me the right, gives me the possibility of becoming the legal parents at birth, and it provides me the possibility, or the option, that if I were to um, reobtain my fertility, say, or just a thought experiment, if I were to reobtain my fertility and we were to have our our biological child together, I before this law, I wouldn't have been able to automatically become the parent of my own child, but I would have had to go through adopting my own child. So this is something that this new law brings. Okay. Um, the Centre Party voted. It was split, so it was, and then the Finns Party and the Christian Democrats voted against the law, obviously. Well, and the okay, let's bring an article. So this is from amnesty.org. Um, Passing the legislation in Finland that abolishes harmful requirements for trans people to endure invasive medical and psychiatric procedures before they can have their gender recognized in a major victory for equality. Um, yeah, for me to get my my legal sex changed and start hormones, it was to get my name changed and hormones. That was um, year and a half. Getting my legal sex changed, 2.5 years. So that's what Finland is shaped like. For those who didn't know, red thing here. The petition. Uh, Finland has quite similar law that many. I think the UK has something similar going on. That they have to. We can, if people sign a petition, if 50,000 people sign it, it will go to the parliament, and the parliament must take it up. Um, Purple has been on hormones for a year and a half now, currently sludging through court papers to get legal pardon, name and gender marker changed. Yes. So under the current one, um, as of right now, there has to be proven infertility, etc. But under the new law, it will be available to adults, to all adults who live in Finland or are Finnish citizens or have permanent residence here, after a mandatory 30-day period of reflection, so called. Okay. Mm. So, wasn't it? Purple wasn't even able to start the process with gender marker until I had letter my doctor. That's several months into HRT. Yeah, before I could be even considered to have to be eligible. Before I was even eligible for even trying to get my gender marker changed. Um, I had to go year and a half of psychiatric evaluation plus 1 year of hormones. So so where do we have it? Okay, so it's a major new big thing for Finns and transgender, especially transgender Finns. I don't want to go into the hatred. Okay, I really hate it when I have to go into when I have to paddle through the shit. Pardon me. I, I hate being sick. I just hate being sick, okay? And yes, COVID, COVID sucks. COVID sucks. Anyway, do you have any I can, if you want, I can go into further detail into some further detail if you're particularly interested in something in something regarding this matter. Please let me know. Because I'm more than willing to. Hmm. This is an interesting concept in general because you would assume that a country like Finland would be uh, civilized enough, civilized and progressive enough to have that we would have had a law like this 20, 30 years ago. But but we literally had a don't say gay bill until uh, I think it was up until 1999 when they uh, did some fixing, some amending into our constitution. You might want to get some hot and spicy instant kimchi ramen. Clears out the sinuses. Um, Finland. Purple says I had assumed Finland was more progressive in these issues. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, Purple. You'd be surprised because you know reasons. Even Sweden doesn't. Sweden has had this type of legislation for years now, um, but yeah, I mean Finland is progressive, way more progressive than say anything across the pond. Uh, but the society is progressive, much more progressive than in many other countries. But the legislation is dragging along uh, quite a long way behind. Sometimes you feel like they dig up these laws up their ass. So, perhaps also in that respect, you would never be offer Finland and had no. You got it wrong. You, I'm sorry, Purple. You are mixing two very different things. Yes, Finland was part of Finland for 500, 600 500 something years. from from sometime mid to late 1200s up until 1809, Finland became autonomous Grand Duchy under not Sweden but Russia. Finland was a Grand Duchy and an autonomous Grand Duchy under the Russian Empire until 1917 and the Russian Revolution, when the Tsar was overturned and replaced eventually by the Bolsheviks. And yeah, the Declaration of Independence of the Grand Duchy of Finland was signed off by the Bolshevik government. Um, and the first name on the list signing the first name. You wanna guess who that was? The first name on the signatures signing off the independence. Wanna have a guess? Vladimir Ilyich Lenin. Yeah, Lenin signed off of Finland's independence, so among other things, but yes. But the reason the second official language of Finland is Swedish, and there are still 5% and a bit more than 5.5% of native Finns have their first language Swedish, and the official language, the second official language is Swedish, for a good reason. We have a history with Sweden, so the Russian Empire didn't force Russian as a official language in the Grand Duchy. It remained, the Swedish laws and the language remained. But yes, many people have these misconceptions, and many foreigners don't really somehow mix things. You got, I mean, purple. You got two things. Basically, you got two things right, but you just took one half and basically you took half and half, and put half an apple, half an orange together, and right, but not perfectly right. So the Fin- the Finnish history, history of Finland and the neighboring countries is long and complex, very long. Um, but that's enough for a history lesson. Then I think, unless someone wants to, unless there's someone else who wants who wants a lesson in Finnish history. Yes, prior 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 to 1809, Sweden, 1809 to 1917, Grand Duchy in or under the Russian Empire, and 1917 onwards, independent. Serbians tried to do their tricks in starting from as of um, starting nine, 1939, but we all know how that went. We all know how well Russia or the Soviet Union back then uh, succeeded in trying to get to reattach Finland. So it's they pretty much they tried to do what they did in Ukraine. Just you just they tried to do what the Soviets tried to do what the Russian Federation now tried to do in Ukraine. Uh, just like when they started their attack, their illegal attack into Ukraine. So, but now, luckily, Purple says my mother's family came to the U.S. because the Russians are trying to move the border. Uh, they have tried to move many borders. Are you comfortable disclosing which country your mom's family came from? Would be would give some context. It's probably unless Finland. Oh, the Finn yes, it was in 1939 when the Russia attempted to move the border and eventually did. They did annex. Russia did. The Soviets did annex 9% of Finland's land area at the time. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a tough time. My my maternal nana, her entire family had to leave their homes and leave their homes, everything, leave leave their home, their pharmacies. They were pharmacists, and they um, they had to pack up and leave and never look back in the 1940s when my nana was a little girl. But this is far, far too murky. I don't want to talk about war, okay? Part, because part of the, we have part of the part part of the part of the fight. Part of the fight is already claimed. Part is still the part. Yeah, this is a big win. Purple, don't worry. It's all right. I mean, we have what we have here is a huge victory and benefits for so many and benefits so many thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And it's not that, and it's wonderful. Making progress, but still some years behind Sweden. Yes, that is correct. We're still in some ways we're still behind um, Sweden in many ways, but this is still a big thing. I mean, I rejoice. I rejoice in this. I rejoice because it's a big thing. And look at her smile. She has a cute smile, I think. Okay. Pardon me. My lungs are burning. I, luckily, I'm not a smoker anymore. I quit just over 2 years ago. I I quit smoking, and it's better this way. I mean, and because I having COVID and burning sensation in the in my lungs when I cough, and afterwards, I can't imagine what it was be like if I was if I still had my pack a day habit, because I smoked. I had a pack a day habit, a pack a day habit for 15 years. Uh, there was a time and place for everything. I'm I'm not judging if you smoke. I don't judge. I'm just talking for myself. No judging. There's no judging in this on this channel unless you're a bacon, turf, an idiot, racist, or something of that nature, or something of the bunch. So, as stated previously, Bertil was watching with Katya the Black Eyed Peas concert from the telly. I don't know. I'm not sure it was really live or if it was replay. I have no idea. Please check the links in the description and Patreon and PayPal. Please check those out. And I will see. It's time to go now. And I will see you next time.